All right. Meet Bob running, sort of, as much as Bob ever agrees in running as a recalcitrant prototype. Oh, and meet one of my faithful lab assistants. Since he doesn't have opposable thumbs, hey Pip, say it, hi to everybody on the internet. Pippin! He's asleep. Since he doesn't have opposable thumbs, I have to hold the camera myself. My other lab assistant has this silly idea it's more important to him for him to pay attention to the college he's going into than it is to help his dear old dad. I'm completely crushed. Anyway, let me introduce you to Bob, the robotic computer eyeball. Bob is basically a robotic mast with 24 cameras on it. What you're looking at here, this is where all the power comes into Bob and the signaling, and the display you're seeing there shows how many amps he's consuming at 5 volts. The box you see on the left is used to control the mast either manually or to put it into automated picture-taking mode. These 3 controls here are used to control power up for the 3 BeagleBone processors that handle each of the camera rings, Capricorn being the lowest ring, the Equator being the middle ring, and Cancer being the top ring. As you can see, we're packed full of blinky lights. If I zoom in on them there, what you're seeing is the computer talking to the individual cameras. Right now for this demo, Bob wanted to be a little cranky about which cameras he wanted to talk to, so I was just like, fine, whatever you can reach will work for us right now. So there's LEDs all the way around, blinking away as it's talking to the different cameras, and then the network connections blink as it's relaying information. And at the end of the day, what it's doing is relaying information into the Mac, which is then picking up the various cameras. You can see me there holding onto the camera. I am so sick of being spied on by Bob, it has taken way too many photographs of the bald spot in my head, in my opinion. Now, for the fun part on Bob, as I said, he's a computerized robotic platform. So what that means is if I push this switch here and nothing bad happens, you can see I can control basically how Bob spins with this slider I'm moving here. And I can also control him going up and down. And there's more blinky lights. You can never have enough blinky lights. There are limit switches that Bob graciously sometimes pays attention to and doesn't try and snap everything. So if we watch, Bob's closing in on that limit, and Bob is now stopped. Good for you, Bob. And you'll see that the up signal is set, meaning no, I don't think I should go any higher or I'll bust something and then Mark will get mad again. If I then take this and move it down, Bob will start going down. Now, as you can see, his power demands fluctuate rather wildly while the servos are in action. This is a really crummy servo design. Now, where things get interesting is the fact that there's actually a computer sitting at the bottom of that, an Arduino. And so the controls mean different things at different times. So as soon as I switch this over to free run, Bob went and looked to hit the limit switch, which he did. And now, let me speed him up so you can see what he's doing. Come on, Bob. All right, what he'll do is he'll do a 180-degree spin, go up a little bit, do another 180-degree spin, go up a little bit, and so on and so forth until any normal human being would have decided that it is more fun watching paint dry than this. However, Bob will do this for a period of about 3 weeks in a room with nothing moving in it, and that allows him to do an extremely detailed calibration of his cameras. How he really moves, just to get an idea, is like this. Boring. If you watch very closely, you see that about every second or so, it just turns a little bit. Then it takes a whole bunch more pictures and turns again. And if I come over here and I refresh this, then you can see it's like acquiring new images. And the idea here is that if you note that all of the cameras have overlapping fields of view, that's the real secret to this. What the math does in the cloud is it finds all of these common areas and it starts fusing them and working out the differences between them so that Bob can do one thing you can't do. He sees in 3D right out of the gate at very, very high precision. When we start seeing cameras show up on machines more commonly, and those cameras are actually built for machines, don't try and hide from them. They just don't miss a trick. So as I said, Bob, it's like if I speed him up a bit here. Here, this is about his fastest range of motion. I'm not going to let him keep doing that too often because he'll snap a cable because he's basically a disagreeable beast. But here we have Mark III of the Camera prototype, a fully robotic 24 camera rig, seeing in a spherical field of view, capable of being fused by a machine. And that has really been about more fun than human beings should be allowed to have. Bye-bye, Internet.